Trevor, it's Avery, it's Pat, it's the citywide special. The Phillies lose their third straight series, dropping 2 out of 3 against the Twins in Minnesota. Is the team simply going through a slump, or is there a cause for real concern? What moves will Dave Dombrowski make ahead of next week's trade deadline? The Flyers signed Travis Konecny to an 8-year extension worth $8.75 million a year. Did Briere get a good deal? And does this fit the Flyers' timeline for contention? Matvei Michkov also arrives in the U.S. and speaks with the media. Eagles training camp is officially underway. Cooper DeJean is sidelined with a hamstring injury. Who needs to impress during camp? And how are we feeling about the team with the season a couple months away? NBA Summer League comes to a close. How do we feel about the Sixers' performance? Veteran guard Reggie Jackson is expected to sign a 1-year deal with the team. Paul George and Tyrese Maxey address the media. All that and more coming up right now. How's it going, fellas?
Good to be back. Thank God you didn't replace us in the 1 week that we were out. So
yeah, I was about to get some AI robots or something, you know.
No, yeah. But anyway, we're back in our normal seats. We'll critique that episode later on, but it feels good to be back in the old hot seat. Sports are starting to heat up again as the weather cools off a little bit. Training camp is back. Sixers are looking exciting and intriguing to get into. Philly is a little bit of a slump, but is what it is. Feels pretty good.
Yeah, we'll critique that episode. We'll critique it throughout the episode. First of all, shout out to Trevor for doing a solo pod. I have the utmost respect for people that can sit there and talk to themselves for a half hour about anything. So yeah, you did a good job. I will critique one thing right away. Hold on. Cheers.
Impressive.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Respect.
Let's keep it going. On number 72.
Yeah. Nice round number for you.
7-0, baby.
Embiid scored a 70 burger. Trevor does his solo pod on episode 70.
Yeah, we're basically the same.
Yeah, I think so.
I think I've heard other people say that too.
I think we're equally important to the city.
Yeah,
definitely.
I would agree with that, but
should probably be making about the same amount of money, but
easily.
The economy is what it is.
In this economy, well, hey, we'll get to that too. We got plenty of presidential updates. But the one thing I will say right now, 2 things. First of all, the boys are back in town after a week. It is good to be back. Needed that week to refresh. Mm-hmm. There wasn't really a whole lot to talk about. No, we come back and there was a bunch of stuff to talk about.
Big time.
Oh yeah.
One of them being, Trevor, how are you going to do a solo pod with no table and no bottles?
I don't know. I just Well, I was contemplating not even bothering with the video for a minute, but I was some people seem to just listening to it on YouTube, so I might as well at least set this up. But I didn't really feel like going through the whole song and dance.
It seemed like the heart wasn't fully in it.
So we do this every week with the table and the bottles. Mm-hmm. And the one time you do a solo pod, you're like, yeah, I don't really feel like dealing with that.
He's us with the busy work.
Yeah.
He's got all the tech.
Man.
Also,
we all have our role here.
Also, hold up. The other thing with this table is, hey, listeners, viewers, let us tell you this. Let us fill you in on a little secret. This table doesn't stay here.
That's true.
Yeah.
Every week, me or Pat has to carry this table downstairs, put all the bottles on it. Mm-hmm. At the end of the episode.
Hey man, I carry the plants down.
True fans.
What I'm saying is you need to get a table to keep it down.
It's true.
True
fans will know.
This is so much work every week.
I already got enough junk taking up space down here. I do.
What would this affect?
Down here.
You can still ride the bike.
This is my gym. This is my part-time gym.
You can still work out.
You have a spare bedroom upstairs. Use that as the gym.
Yeah, there's still bed frame up there and stuff.
Whose bed frame is it?
It's just Jacob's old one.
Well, Jacob, he ain't working right now. He needs to take care of it.
Ideally, I think we want to turn it into a spare bedroom, but need a mattress to throw in there because Jacob's old mattress did not fit the bill for that.
You guys want to stay in this room? I think I'm alright. I'm gonna walk home. I think.
But I don't know.
Well, nah, man. Hey, listeners, viewers, please shame Trevor into convincing Trevor to keep this table and the bottles down here, because this is a task every week. You want to know one of the reasons why I needed a week off? It's I'm kidding. It wasn't because of this damn table.
Threw your back out from the table.
It wasn't because of this damn table.
To be on a 10-day injured list real quick with this table.
But props to you on the solo pod. Mm-hmm. I have my other critiques spread out throughout the episode.
Yeah.
But I had to say something about this goddamn table right now.
It's true.
But anyway, yeah, it is good to be back. Pat, what'd you do with your week off?
We went down to the shore. That's why I couldn't do scheduling conflict. I think you could only do one day. I can only do the other day, which didn't work out. So we shot down the shore. Thursday was Mikey's birthday. Shout out.
Oh, happy birthday, Mikey. How old is he? 36?
He's like 42 or something
he
like that.
He ain't 42. He's a little older than me.
He's 36.
Yeah, okay.
So
50.
Went down there, celebrated his birthday, caught a shit ton of crabs.
Nice.
Didn't get a chance to eat them because we caught them on...
Oh.
We ate... Joe and their Uncle Sean was down there, so they had caught crabs before we got down there. So we had crabs, clams, and all that the first night. Did a 3-hour kayak ride.
Oh.
So just a nice little... You got to go down there and enjoy it while you can, while it's still nice out. Beach was popping off. Had some ice cream and all that stuff. So it was a good little R&R. How about you?
You know, I don't even remember. I've gotten
this weekend.
I've gotten really bad at remembering things. What did I do? I didn't do anything this weekend.
Chill hard.
Yeah, last Wednesday I had band practice because we were gonna do the pod Wednesday, but I had to move band practice to Wednesday. It was hot as hell in our practice space. Talk about a flu game, man. I was struggling. Ooh, good lord. And then Thursday, I don't remember what I did. I think I worked really late Thursday, so it wouldn't have been a good pod night anyway. But yeah, feeling refreshed, ready to be back. We got all 4 sports teams are making moves, doing things.
Yeah,
it's a good time to be alive.
It's tough in the summertime to get energized for reaching for something. You know? It's nice to have at least a little bit of information, even if it's just Michkov coming over and having a presser or training camp starting. But we're getting this is the time to knock the rust off. It's like our training camp right now before we get into the throes of things.
I forgot to mention I was in fucking...
I seen this. What was this all about?
I was in D.C. this weekend to see my beloved Glasgow Celtic play.
Oh, yeah.
You went to the game, right?
Game. Yeah, they were playing D.C. United in D.C.
Did they win?
Yeah, we won 4-0.
Oh, shit.
We whooped that ass. I mean, it was kind of weird exhibition because like MLS is in the middle of their season and they were still playing like a friendly just like against us. But dude, yeah, it was a fucking blast. Like we were all staying at this hotel that was just like a 5-minute walk from the arena.
All like your Celtic friends and fans?
Yeah, it was like a bunch of people from like the Phillies supporters group, and then we had people coming in from all over. There was like some people were there from overseas. There were people there from like New York, Pittsburgh.
Oh, wow. Well, I guess they probably don't play in the States that often.
Yeah. Some people came in from Texas.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah, some people like drove up from like fucking Dallas.
Damn.
But this was hilarious though. So our like the pregame like party thing was this hotel had like a rooftop lounge, which was pretty sick.
It looked dope. That like with all the windows up there. Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. It had like a big like balcony area, and there was like a bar up there, and they knew that we were having like an event up there, but I don't think they were expecting how much it was because it was like it was like the bar had like it only had like one like tap station or whatever. So even if there was like 5 people working there, it still would have been a fucking mess.
What?
You know what I mean? So like, and there was this guy who came there, and I guess he had like brewed his own beers and like had like custom like cans made that like looked like the team's logo and stuff that were pretty cool.
That's what's up.
Is that what you had that picture of?
Yeah, and he wasn't allowed to sell them, so he was just giving them away.
Holy shit.
And he had like 3
It's
like
a good thing he was there.
He had like 3 big containers of these things, so I was drinking those for a while. Those run out, and then at that point everyone has to hit the bar and it just becomes a fucking mess. And then maybe like an hour or 2 later, the bar is just completely out of beer.
I was going to say they ran out.
Out of, like we drank all of the beer. Like they were not. This place was like not prepared for a bunch of like Irish and Scottish people to just descend upon them and just drink everything. But yeah, it was hilarious because after we ran out of beer, people were just buying entire bottles of champagne and shit and just like double-fisted fucking wine bottles.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, it was fun, man. But and then head to the game. They win 4-0.
You stayed overnight?
Yeah, I stayed at the hotel, so that was cool, and then just left the next afternoon. But,
nice.
It was a great time.
How do you feel about DC?
I mean, it's not my favorite city. I do kind of like the touristy stuff there. Mm-hmm. I like the I did get to at least
consider
walk
yourself
by,
a patriot.
Yeah, right. But I walked by.
He said, "I can't wait to be back here."
Yeah, I walked from Union Station to the hotel, which is kind of at like their like Navy Yard kind of area.
Yeah, that area is cool.
Yeah, it's like right. The National Stadium is right there too. Mm-hmm. Like the Nationals and DC United play right next to each other.
It's pretty cool down there. Yeah,
but I walked past the Capitol building. Didn't really see any of the other stuff because would have been a little out of the way. I kind of wish I had time to go to the Lincoln Memorial. I think that's my favorite spot. Like Lincoln Memorial is pretty cool, but it was like kind of out of the way. And then the next day it was like too hot to want to walk anywhere.
Only 2 times I've seen the Lincoln Memorial, it's been empty.
Yeah,
like the reflecting pool has been drained.
So for real?
I've never. The pool is empty.
I've been in the reflecting pool twice.
They drag the pool.
They I guess they drain it and then they clean all like the goose shit and all, like it gets like kind of green in there.
Gross in there.
But I've never seen the actual pool reflecting. I've always just been.
Oh, it's cool when it is.
I've been able to walk in it, which is interesting. So like we walked around in the thing, but I've never seen the thing do what it's supposed to do, which is reflect.
Yeah, well, sounds like we have to take a pod trip to DC.
Big time.
Psych.
Yeah.
Psych. The last time I was in DC, I was on a crab cruise. It was actually pretty cool.
Yeah. Hell yeah, on the Chesapeake?
Yeah, on the Potomac.
Or Potomac,
this was for my fantasy league with my Baltimore friends, my fantasy football league. It was a 10-year anniversary of the league. It was my 3rd or 4th year in there. So we decided to do a crab cruise. So we all pitched in money to rent a boat. We get on the boat. It goes up and down the Potomac, and they just feed you crabs the whole time.
Are they catching it live with the crabbing? Okay.
But they're just feeding you crabs. It's all you can drink.
Wow.
I got hammered. We got really drunk and ate a bunch of crabs. It was a fun time. That was the last time I was in DC. It gave me a newfound appreciation for DC.
I do want to check out the cherry blossoms too. I've never seen that, but that would be a touristy. It's built for touristy type shit to pop off like that, without having to be too patriotic or American thing. It is interesting. They got some cool shit down there.
Yeah, not a patriot, but some of that stuff's cool. I don't really like DC as a city, but we've discussed that. We can discuss some other things now, I suppose.
Yeah.
What do we want to jump into first? Let's do the birds first.
Yeah, birds are back.
Yeah,
Training
birds
camp
are
officially
back,
started this week. Day 2 today in the books.
The birds are back in town.
Sad to not see Kelsey obviously down there, but we got to get used to that. He's still there every day by the sounds of it, which is hysterical to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, they all look good. They look sharp. I think one of the bigger things that stuck out to me, obviously it's still early to tell what, you're learning schemes and they're learning the playbook and you're getting all the pressures of Vic Fangio and all that. I don't think Kellen Moore did one yet, but it's good to see that Jordan Davis cut even more weight from when he was here for OTAs. So he's in arguably the best shape he's been in maybe his whole career, even including college. I think he cut a lot. I don't know the exact pounds.
He does look a little. He looks much
lean.
better. Yeah,
he looks more responsible. I think that was one of the bigger things I wanted to see was Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis come in and be, you're not a rookie anymore. You got some years under your belt. I mean, Jordan Davis now, year 3?
Yeah.
So you're kind of pushing that young vet status now. So taking over that leadership, knowing that Cox is gone, so you assume the new big man role, and you're going to lose Graham next year. So that's Carter's role to jump in. So it's good to see them come in and have a good head on their shoulders. Vic Fangio seems energetic, but just feels good to have the Birds back in the city.
Yeah. I mean, I remember I haven't really heard a whole lot, but I remember seeing something on Twitter the first day where it was like, they ran a play where it's like, did a motion misdirection thing with Saquon and open up a big hole for Hurts. I was just like, oh my God. They're doing it. Like, they're actually doing it.
Yeah.
Like, so, yeah, I'm really excited about to see more of that Kellen Moore influence and, hopefully once they get more of a handle on the playbook and things start coming together. But, I'm definitely excited to see that offense and 100%.
Yeah, apparently, it's early. They've been through 2 days so far, but Hurts has looked really good.
Yep.
Looked really sharp. I think some of the beat reporters and people on the ground there has said the last time he's looked this good was 2022 and almost won an MVP and led us to the Super Bowl. So, small sample size is very early and all that, but I think it's encouraging to hear that despite him saying the offense is 95% new, he seems to feel pretty comfortable early on. He's hitting guys. He's running the ball well. He looks good. I think he looks more agile and mobile than he did towards the end of last season as we remember him.
Yeah. That was definitely a big problem last year that it was pretty obvious that he just did not have the mobility that you're used to seeing from him, and it really diminished his game. So hopefully if he can avoid injury this year and so the running game just stays a part of his arsenal, that should be a big boost.
Big time. Heard some good things, too, about John Ross, right? John Ross, the receiver we got for wide receiver 3, getting some time, I think, mixed in there with, I think, Paris Campbell is the other one. I honestly would like to see John Ross pull this out and be the wide receiver 3 just because that extra speed could be dynamic. That slot is going to be, a who's who anyway. It's not really going to be a huge impact, but I think he gives you that little bit more of an X factor in terms of what he can do with his speed. Paris Campbell's a good catcher, kind of more of a...
He's pretty fast too, but it's never really translated to the NFL.
No, he's fast but not quick, and I think that's the difference. Where
that's true.
Yeah, he catches the ball, he can be fast and outrun some guys, but John Ross, if he makes someone miss, he's got the speed to be able to burn you pretty good and take a deep ball out, almost like a D-Jax in that sense. In some sense, not the full tilt that way. My biggest person I think that I'm looking forward to have an impact this offseason, though, or in terms of training camp, is going to be Becton, who we got from the Jets, the O-lineman.
Oh, really? That's a deep cut. Or not a deep cut, but it's a surprise.
Only because I feel like we have, not for nothing, it's not like we're a new head coach and all that. We got all these new players. Like, we're luckily a pretty established team on all fronts, all things considered. You got some young corners coming in and Cooper DeJean and what's it called, Quinyon Mitchell. But, that's... you get a first-round pick, essentially 2 first-round picks in a first and second-round pick, and you're going to assume they're going to be decent. We know the D-line's got room for improvement, but, again, you pick those top premier guys to play well. I'm not really worried about them. I think it's the other free agents you brought in, right? Like either a Devin White, how's he going to produce in this defense? Can he shake off last year and be a good every-down linebacker and produce? But Becton, I think, fills a major hole because you lose that Kelsey as a center, so you hope that Cam Jurgens can fill that role. But right guard is going to be a tricky position moving from tackle. And he threw up, I think, all day the first game.
I heard he was
high. So,
he threw up like 10 heaves.
I'm intrigued to see how Stoutland molds this man, because it's a perfect Stoutland prototype where he could turn this big man into a staple of the offensive line.
So hold up. You think he's going to be a starting right guard?
I think he has the potential to do that. He's a former first-round pick. I think he had terrible run at it with the Jets. But I think that if he was able to make Jordan Mailata a starting left tackle, damn near all-pro premier left tackle in the league, after not knowing how to play football and put his helmet on, he should be able to get Becton to be that first-rounder that he was 2-3 years ago. And who better to do it than with surrounded by Kelsey still in the locker room coming in to visit, Stoutland in there teaching these guys how to do things, and already an established 95% of the O-line anyway. You got your franchise quarterback, your receiver cores are all locked up. You got a smart running back and Saquon back there. There's no real, they don't have to prove me anything in training camp because they already are who they are. They just have to play the game, not get hurt, and they should potentially dominate. But he's one I got my eye on this training camp.
I like it. When the Eagles signed him, I said that I was very excited about it for all the reasons you mentioned. I don't know if I see him as a starting right guard, but Tyler Steen has yet to really prove himself either. Matt Hennessy has been mostly a backup throughout his career. Mm-hmm. So, Becton doesn't really face the stiffest competition. Yeah, if he gets it right, he's a first-round pedigree. He's been a high performer in college, and he's had his moments with the Jets. It's just about consistency. Yep. He's dropped a ton of weight.
Yeah.
Maybe this is the year. He's still pretty young.
He's very young, and that's the thing. I think, again, he got drafted first round in a team in shambles where they had what is your motivation? You're going to protect Matt White or Wilson. Fucking, Wilson. Like, it's not, you're in a...
Yeah, who cares?
Right, doesn't really matter. You had Rodgers back there for 39 seconds. Like, it doesn't really fucking matter. No one's ripping the O-line apart in the Jets because the whole team is fucked up. The defense is great, but, the offense, who you throwing to? Come on now. Like, it doesn't really matter. So I think that he has a chance to really rejuvenate his career. And I think that he's in a perfect position to do that with Stoutland as his coach.
Yeah.
And the other people around him. You got half that O-line was pretty much in the Pro Bowl a year or two ago.
3 Pro Bowlers on the O-line. Yeah, and Jurgens, he has Pro Bowl pedigree. Yep. Right, second-round pick. In a lot of ways is a Jason Kelsey clone, at least physically. Certainly not mentally or intangibly. But, Yeah, you have a lot of talent around him. So, yeah, if there's ever a time he's going to put it together, it's this year.
Big time.
We'll see.
I'm pumped about it for that.
Yeah, I don't really have too many notes on offense. For me, man, the guy that needs to show up, Jordan Davis. I mean, we already talked about it a little bit. You don't have Fletcher Cox anymore.
Yeah.
It's all really on you and Jalen Carter. I think Jalen Carter showed us enough last year for us to say that as he develops, he's only going to get better and better.
Big time.
Whereas Jordan Davis has never really shown that. He's shown it in spurts, but it's always been he gets tired or he's just out of shape or he gets hurt or some combination of them. And I don't know. I think the team's probably going to start to get tired of it soon, at some point soon, especially Fangio. I don't think he's the type of guy to tolerate any nonsense.
No, and there's still some good vets out there, whether it's in free agency or in potential trade pickups, but I have heard Khalil Mack's name been floated around here and there in terms of a savvy vet to bring in. I heard some good things about Bryce Huff already, with which that trade is looking more and more like a big win for us. Hassan got put on
we didn't trade Huff for Hassan, but essentially we did.
It was essentially a one-for-one. It wasn't a direct trade, but
right.
In all things considered, it worked out to be we got Huff for, Hassan and a third-round pick or whatever it would have been. But I think that Huff is going to be a big improvement to that defensive line. I mean, he showed up, which is great. I think they put Reddick on the unable to play or some kind of weird list because he's just not showing up to get that deal.
Oh, that's ugly.
Yeah. Between that and CD Lamb's holding out too.
Yeah.
It's like, and the Niners?
The Niners have a couple. Yeah. It's like you kind of take it for granted that the Eagles have a very well-functioning team, and this kind of shit typically doesn't happen with us.
So Howie spoke yesterday. I don't know if y'all seen this. They asked Howie Roseman about these holdouts, and they were saying, Howie, how is it that the Eagles, you guys always avoid this? And he said it comes back to Jeffrey wanting to pay guys early what they're worth.
Yep.
And it gives them the flexibility to say, hey, we're going to pay you now, so that way you don't want to hold out in a couple years. And if you think about it, even last year, Hassan Reddick was a holdout possibility, but he didn't hold out. He played because, up till that point, he had been compensated fairly, and he was home, too, which I think helped. So, these other teams are a mess. The Niners have Trent Williams. One of a Hall of Fame left tackle, and Brandon Ayuk, a Pro Bowl caliber receiver. They're both pissed.
Yeah.
And they're holding out. CD Lamb is holding out. Micah Parsons isn't happy.
Yep.
Right? Whereas
even
Eagles,
Jamar
Chase is holding in. He's there, but he's not practicing. It's
Same
not
with
because he's
Ayuk
hurt.
now. Ayuk just showed up, but he's not practicing at all. He's just at camp, which I find that to be a funny. Like, if you want to be a prima donna about it,
it's the whole I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Right, but
that's
they have
exactly
the fucking balls to be able but that shows a weird message, which I'm glad we've avoided that the last years with Sirianni and Roseman with this team right now that they're building, is that we don't have like a TO on the sideline just bitching about not getting paid, but not practicing with your boys. Like that would rub me the wrong way. If I'm Debo and I'm,
I'd be mad as hell.
You're this close to, you're this close to winning a Super Bowl.
Set aside your ego for 1 minute to win. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Just the showing up to the practice, not doing anything. It kind of just reminds me of like high school gym class where it was, legally they can't force you to really participate in anything, but you at least have to like get dressed and show up or whatever. So it'd always be those like one or two kids that would just kind of sit around and just not do anything.
Walk around. They're like walking around. They're like, well, go walk around the park a little bit then, do something.
It's like, I'm here.
Usually I'd be with them, but high school gym was one of my favorite times in high school.
Yeah, dude. What?
Yeah, I remember playing all sorts of games in high school. You remember pillow polo?
Kind of.
You remember that? Where you would basically play hockey with the sticks with the foam on the end?
Oh, yeah.
Yo, I used to check people hard as hell, man. I used to wreck people. What was that
one game where it was like dodgeball combined with
Survivor
basketball?
Ball?
Survivor Ball.
Oh, that was fun as hell.
It was like dodgeball, but if you got the other hand and made a basket, all of your guys could come back or
something.
Yeah,
that was fun as hell.
That was epic. Because, using the whole basketball court.
Yeah, it was really innovative.
Yeah.
So,
we had some good shit going on.
High school gym was the sure shot, man. I remember, what was this other game we used to play? I don't remember. Oh, it was basically kickball. Mat ball. You would play it inside, but it was just kickball, but with that giant ball.
Oh, yeah.
That was fun, too. You could have 8 people on you could have 6 people on the same base.
Yo, just think about it. She out. She definitely out.
With that crippled girl.
Oh, my God.
Oh man. So yeah.
That was fucked up.
Yeah, this girl needed a walker and stuff, man. It was bad. She could barely walk. She needed all sorts of assistance. And this guy, we were freshmen. This guy was a senior and he was probably damn near 20. And this girl doesn't roll up. She walks up with assistance. And before anyone even pitches the ball, this guy goes, she out. She definitely out. That was so ableist, man.
High school is a cruel place.
The joys of high school in the early 2000s. What a time to be alive.
Damn. But yeah, so I think we're in a good position, man. I think.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what Jamar Chase is doing.
Yeah.
Trevor, who's your pick for who needs to show up? Or who you expect to show up, I should say. Same thing.
Yeah, I mean, Hurts is like the obvious one, I guess, but
you can say the obvious one. It's true after the way last season ended.
Last season ended, like he's kind of got a little bit to prove here. He's got to show everyone: are you the guy from 2 years ago that almost won the MVP, or are you just like a top 15 sort of middle of the road quarterback that has some flashes but is not going to be like in that top 5 elite tier? Like, this is the year that I feel like he's got to prove that. So, and I think he can. I still believe in the player, but yeah, I mean, I think people are going to be watching closely how he does in camp for sure.
A name that I'm surprised no one brought up too, as just like maybe a fourth one too, would just be to see how Nakobe Dean does.
Yeah.
I think this is his prove it. I understand that, but I think that they had a lot of hopes and expectations when they first drafted him, and they were excited when we picked him. I think that this is really pretty much his, because I think Zach Bond and Devin White. I mean, you don't have scrubs in there anymore. You got two guys that they'll get tackles. Like they're great linebackers. Devin White has a plan to come back and prove people wrong that he, it was a fluke year last year. He wasn't happy with Tampa Bay. He didn't like the way they were using him, whatever it was. So now he's back with the Eagles. I think he's got a prove it mentality, but I think Nakobe Dean has a really, really big hill to climb, and he needs to show up in this Vic Fangio offense and find a way to make it work. Otherwise, he's gone.
Yeah, he's another guy I think that the patient's starting to run thin on. I mean, granted, he's not a first-round pick like Jordan Davis where you move up to get him, but still, you expect something out of him.
I mean, a high second round still.
For him to be hurt pretty consistently and not really show up.
And they drafted Trotter Jr. too. They're going to keep him over you if you're at the same playing level, just for the lineage in itself.
He's 2 years younger, same play level, lineage, cheaper.
Healthier.
It all makes a lot of sense to keep him. Yeah. So, yeah, I think Nakobe Dean, Jordan Davis, this is their year to prove it. I think Jordan Davis does. I don't know about Nakobe Dean. I think I'm out on him.
Yeah.
I tell you one other thing I thought was interesting, because Cooper DeJean suffered that hamstring injury, and Sidney Brown's out. They've been putting Bradbury at safety.
I saw that. Yeah.
So is he going to make the team as a safety?
Maybe.
That's wild.
Throughout camp, maybe. I
mean,
don't
Cooper
know.
DeJean's not going to be out for very long.
But
he's going to have to catch himself up, though.
Yeah.
Especially a rookie missing all this time.
That's true.
I think he'll be all right. He's a smart cat. I mean, I'm not too concerned. They were elated to get him. They're not going to be worried about his playing time, I think, within the first few weeks of training camp. I think it's a precautionary thing to make sure his hamstring's good to go. I think they're just using Bradbury for a camp body at this point. I don't see him making the team.
Okay. I don't think he does, but they've cracked the door open with this, trying him out at safety. I mean, he's
already been here probably a lot longer than any of us thought he was going to.
That's true.
That's true. He's made it this far.
He's made it this far.
Yeah.
He's in camp.
And not for nothing, but he is bigger for a cornerback at 6'1", 212. I mean, that is kind of safety size. Maybe gained a couple pounds. He's more of a safety.
The problem is he has to get near someone to tackle someone with that size. If he gets burnt every fucking time, it doesn't matter how big he is.
That's true. But, I mean, tight end's less likely to burn him than, say, receive. I don't know.
Dude's eating dust half the time he's playing out there.
I don't know, man. I don't think it happens, but I'm saying I could see a path to it the way things are right now.
They've alluded to that. I get that.
But yeah, so I guess that's about it. And then, overall, how are you feeling about the team?
I'm still steadfast on my prediction.
What was your prediction? 14-2?
14-3.
14-3. Because
Super Bowl.
Yeah, we.
I didn't say
have
anything.
17
I didn't get into postseason. I just said 14-3.
You're sticking by
I'm
it.
sticking
You feel
by it.
that
I'm
good?
confident in Hurts and the offense. I'm feeling really good about the team.
Yeah.
I feel good.
I think the vibes are good, you know? I saw that Devin White, Hurts, and A.J. Brown have a little group chat.
It's a weird
going.
group chat, I
Yeah,
will say.
but it's like,
Oh, for real?
you know,
I didn't know this.
Yeah, it's like called like accountability or something. Like, you know, but, you know, it's cool to see that Devin White's maybe going to provide a little bit of leadership.
Did you see what he texted them?
The glass
Just
half
an empty
full.
glass? It was just an empty glass.
Oh, was it? Yeah.
What?
And
He
was like,
texted them
what did he say?
He texted them like an empty glass of water or just an empty glass, you know, whatever, like a pint glass. And he was like, we got to fill this up one day at a time, baby. And like, that was
What
was
does that
it.
even mean?
Hey, I don't know.
Take that a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
But,
I'll take it. He's a
Yeah, you
linebacker.
can
I'm
take
sure
that very many ways.
he's a linebacker. I'm sure he's not all there in the head, but there's got to be some deeper meaning in there that we don't understand on that playing field. But it works. If that works for them, go for it.
I don't want to say
A quarterback
where my
and a
mind
receiver
thinks
and a linebacker all in a group chat with one glass. Motivation, baby.
They could be filling that up with a lot of different things.
14th. Oh, now.
I don't know. I'm sorry, man. That's just weird.
we're talking about cum, but
That's what I'm
I'll just
thinking.
say
Or pee.
piss and cum.
Yeah,
I
or
don't know.
both.
You need a bigger glass than a pint glass.
Huh?
You can't have 3 full-grown hogs
Yeah.
peeing it. That would fill up instantly.
That would fill up instantly.
That's true.
I can fill up like a half of like full Gatorade with
That's-
just myself.
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, on that note, I think the Birds are in a good shape.
Yeah. They're
I
doing-
mean,
The glass right now is empty from
don't-
Devin White's
the glass
perspective.
is empty.
so here's the deal with the Birds, right? I think they're by far the best team in the NFC or NFC East. The Cowboys, who knows what the
look like
Cowboys?
fucked
kinda
up.
The Cowboys are.
They got rid of everybody. All their
They won't
premier
pay.
athletes
They
are
won't
pissed off.
pay anyone. Everyone's mad.
They brought back an old running back.
Dak was sitting there the
They
day.
spent all their money on the Jerry hologram.
Dude,
Yeah.
Dak was sitting there the day saying, yeah, all the great quarterbacks that win never win with their first team. He straight up said that.
Damn.
Oh my god.
In so many words, but that's what he said. So he's already prepared to leave.
Jesus.
Hey, Nick Foles did.
Yeah, so, hey, man, the Cowboys are going to be bad. The Giants, this Hard Knocks, it's
Oh, it's just pitiful. It's
What I haven't
love
watched
it.
any episodes.
Did
I've
you
seen
hear
plenty
that
of clips.
Apparently, Saquon had no idea that his conversations were being recorded.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
And
The whole
then
professional organization they got over there.
there's a bold prediction. Washington is number 2 in the NFC East this year.
I think that's a fair prediction.
If CeeDee Lamb, they don't pay him, Micah Parsons, if they don't pay him, they'll probably report, but they're going to half-ass it the whole season until they get paid anyway. I think Washington surprises some people and is the number 2 team in the NFC
They've been
East.
sneaky the last couple of years. They've been like annoying, right? Like they're not a great
not
team,
good,
they're not
but
bad,
yeah.
but they're like, you know, they would beat up on a good team randomly because someone will overlook them. Like they have that mentality. The Giants don't really have that.
I mean,
But
we almost lost to them.
I mean, every year we play them, it's always like
Yeah,
a nail
2
always
years
one
ago,
against-
they gave us our first loss.
Yeah. And last year came into overtime. I mean, you know, they got a good team there. They got Malik. No, who'd they get? Daniels, the quarterback from
Jaden
LSU.
Daniels, yeah.
I mean, not a terrible pickup there when they've been pretty much. That's been their biggest fault. I feel like is quarterback.
They got Bieniemy now yet?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
they're
they have
all
a
right.
good
Dan
offensive
Quinn,
coordinator,
Dan Quinn, their
a good defensive coach.
yeah.
They could be decent.
You know,
So, yeah, I'm saying it right now, number 2 in the NFC East.
it's not I don't think
I'd
it's
love
as
to see
far
the
fetched.
Cowboys not make the playoffs. That'd be really fun.
That'd be hilarious. Hey, you heard it here first, man. It's
Yeah.
happening. But all right, that's the last thing I had to say about the Eagles.
Yeah, we can move on. I guess we can talk about the Phillies a little bit.
Do we want to do them? Yeah, you already said it. Let's do them real quick.
I don't have to go
Yeah.
too in depth. I'm not worried. I think
Yeah,
that
they're just in a slump. It's a long season. There's variance. They just happen to have a lot of guys not doing well at the same time. And then, the bullpen is experiencing a little bit of regression. I feel like that was expected. I don't think anyone could have realistically expected, like, having 3 relievers with a sub-1 ERA all season or whatever.
Right.
So, I mean, yeah, it's... we were bound to have a stretch like this at some point, but like we've been saying, it's critical that they built up that cushion that
Right.
this is not going to kill them. assuming that they work themselves out of it relatively soon. Still have a tough schedule coming up. I mean, the whole rest of the season, their schedule is pretty tough.
Yeah, but it's nice though to have
not panicking.
It's nice to have that cushion, like you said. But I feel like, your post All-Star break, you had 6 guys go there, so it's not like you only had one person that's kind of having that lazy kind of hangover there. It's a lot of guys coming back from that All-Star break, trying to get back into the mode of things. You start off right away playing away. I think they just, with anytime they've gotten to like a weird little rut throughout this season, once they come home, they typically right those wrongs to get back on track. There's going to be a natural regression in terms of bats or pitching and things like that throughout the year, but having that cushion and not having to have that uphill battle of, okay, after the All-Star break, we're only down by 6 games now, chasing the Braves, and then going into a slump, now we're down 15 games, and we're like pushing, August, where we're in a good spot. We're fortunate. Now they can't take that for granted. They have to turn this around quicker than sooner, I think. But I'm not overly concerned as of yet. But I think this is definitely a sign for Dombrowski to go out there and get a bat or another pitcher or thing like that. But they have to make a move, I would think.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be making some kind of move. I don't know.
Y'all are seeing things a little more optimistically than me. Not saying that I'm worried about the team by any stretch, but so here's the deal, right? As Trevor said in the open, they've lost 3 straight series. They lost 6 of their last 9. Nice. In their last 22 games, they're 11-11. Spread that over their last 32 games, 17-15. Spread that out over the last 38, 19-19. Over their last 51, granted these are arbitrary endpoints, but it's just to make my point. I'm just here riffing, I guess. 27-24 in their last 51. So they haven't really been an elite team in a while. So it goes back to what we've said before, is it's good that they beat up on all these teams that they were supposed to beat up on earlier in the year. Schedule doesn't really get any easier. I mean, this weekend they're playing Cleveland.
Yeah.
It's like not my second team, my second city. But Cleveland's the second best team in the league. This series, granted I know it's end of July, this series could decide who has home field in the World Series.
Yeah.
Let's be honest here. Then after that, they get the Yankees, who Pat and we have our bet.
Yep.
Yankees have been playing pretty bad. They just got swept by the Mets, so I'm not feeling great about it right now. But, yeah, I mean, Philly's schedule for much of the next several games. They got the Dodgers in L.A. yet. They got Arizona has been playing better in Arizona. They got some series with the Braves coming up. I don't know, man. I think the NFC East, it's a foregone conclusion they should win. They're up 9 games.
Yeah.
Despite...
Yeah.
You said the NFC East.
Oh, I'm still stuck on football.
Yeah.
Still stuck on football. The NL East, they're up 9 games. Through all these struggles, they actually gained a half game on the Braves because the Braves are really banged up. So they should win the division. They should probably win the NL, at least best record, first seed.
Or whatever.
But
they're making it interesting. They're not making it easy. It's not a cakewalk. Unless they go for a complete turnaround and somehow show us anything. But my only thing is that I understand the schedule looks daunting and things like that. But that's also with teams playing at their level right now. In a week or two, Dodgers could have the same slump. They could take a little dip. Who knows what could happen. But I think that the team's built to withstand that. And I think they have done a pretty good job. You can go back whatever games it is, 19-19, 27 and whatever it is. But I think that it didn't feel that way in those weeks that they've played. Because even in that stretch, the Yankees were on like a 17-game losing streak, and other teams were kind of fucking up here and there.
17 games.
11 games, whatever it was. I'm just, whatever. I don't have numbers like that. But, I'm not, it is what it is. Like, they're going to get back in there. They're going to be all right. I'm not concerned. And they'll sweep the fucking Yankees, and then you'll owe me 3 shots.
I thought there was 1.
No, I thought it was a shot per game.
Yeah, we'll have to check the tape.
Yeah, we can go back.
3.
We can go back and check the tape.
I'm the numbers guy here. It's definitely 3.
Oh, you just said I don't have any numbers.
Yeah.
Now you're the number.
The Yankees run a 17-game losing streak. You owe me 3 shots.
Harper's got 40 home runs.
Yeah, you can't count, dude. You're not the numbers guy.
Oh,
you need an
Philly,
abacus.
Yeah.
But nah, man. I mean, I still feel good about the team. I think that the last couple of series are proven that they need to make some moves. You're starting to see some of the bullpen arms erode a little bit.
Yeah.
Alvarado hasn't looked good in a while. The Kerkering's starting to show his age a little bit. Sir Anthony's been up and down all season. Soto had been doing better, but he went and crashed a little bit yesterday.
Yeah.
Cousin Jeff's still mostly holding it down. Him and Strom are mostly still holding it down, but you need more than 2 bullpen arms you can trust. So I think they need to shore that up. And then the offense, man, some of these at-bats in this Twin Series, look at this. So their slugging percentage and average of exit velocity with runners in scoring position this year by month, this is wild. March and April, their slugging percentage was .490 and their average exit velo was 89. May was still pretty good, .467 and 88.8. June, .377 slug and 87.9 exit velo. July's bad, dude. A .342 slug and 84.9 exit velocity. In this Twin Series, you were seeing a lot of that. These weak grounders, these weak pop-ups. And that's from Paul Boyer. Shout out Paul Boyer, by the way. But, their offense just hasn't been getting it done. So I think, man, as much as Rojas has held it down in defense, they need to go after an upgrade. They need to go after someone that can play left.
Yeah.
So Brandon can play center. And, you get a big right-handed bat that can play left, because you're probably not finding a good right-handed bat that can play center and field well.
Yeah.
But Rojas can be a late-game defensive replacement at this point.
Yeah.
Because
we tried it. It just didn't work out.
His at-bats are agonizing. Yeah. And Pache, too. They're kind of the same player offensively. It's just so painful.
Big time.
But we will see what happens, man. Trade deadline, by the time we record next week, trade deadline's going to be have gone and come and gone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Y'all got any predictions who they land? You know the field like that?
I don't know. I just saw they were looking at the 2 guys from the Nationals.
I saw that.
Oh, Finnegan, the reliever?
Yeah.
He throws really hard, apparently. I remember him pitching some games against us. I think he's good.
I saw Mason Miller just got hurt.
Yeah, that would have been great.
Yeah.
Have a guy throwing 104. I would have given up the farm for him. He's cost control for a couple years. Yeah. Yeah, and then who's the other guy? I don't think they're in on Robert.
Marlins.
Oh, Jazz Chisholm?
Well, him, and there's a reliever. I'm blanking on his name. I've heard his name thrown around a little bit. I don't know. I'm sure. I expect him to get a reliever. And probably an outfielder.
I still like Lewis Robert Jr. from the White Sox. I don't know.
I think they're probably going to have to give up more than they want to give up to get him.
Well, if you're in the win now mode, you just had a shit ton of people that you drafted too. I think you got a pretty good farm system built. You got prospects to give, but...
Yeah, I mean, it's the cost of doing business if they feel that it's worth it. But
right.
I mean, they are kind of at the stage where, you can't really covet your prospects that much when you're going for a World Series.
There are a couple untouchables in the system, but for the most part,
it's like,
you got wiggle room.
You remember Dominic Brown,
right?
And
look how that turned out. Or even more,
or some of the guys that we ended up giving up, like Kyle Drabeck.
John Singleton.
John Singleton. I mean, when you're in this position, you kind of just have to trade your prospects, but there's.
They're smart about their moves, though. They won't make a stupid move, but I think that they have to definitely open up the bank a little bit and have to risk, get rid of some young guys.
Yeah, I mean, I would love Luis Robert. I don't know. I think they're going to make a move slightly more on the margins, which could be good, right? This guy, what's his name? Matt Gelb, really knows the team really well for the Athletic. He's in on Mark Canha. This guy kills it against lefties. He's on the Tigers. He hits .299 with an .892 OPS against lefties.
Damn.
That's good, dude. So you figure you can put him in left, put Wet Brandon in center?
Yeah. The goal is to get Brandon in center field, but it's just who to bring in left field. And I think, or you're not going to bring in a guy like Cody Bellinger either. That chance I feel like was last year.
No, the Cubs are hanging around.
But... I think Dombrowski's a pretty smart. Again, I think I mentioned this a couple weeks ago too. We're lucky to have most of our franchises have pretty good GMs and people in the player personnel position. So will we have to lose some prospects? Probably, but we won't be losing Matt Painter, guys that you have had your eyes on, maybe, Crawford, things like that you've, been looking at for a couple of years now, grow in the farm system and move up here and there. They'll get rid of other guys that potentially could go off and do bigger things, but you're in a position now where, sure, Bryce Harper made that mention where, we're not trying to win it now, we're trying to win it every year, which, sure, whatever, people say that shit, but also, realistically, this is your window.
I mean, Schwarber and Castellanos aren't around for much longer.
Exactly.
And even if they were, they're not going to be this good for much longer.
No. So, go out there, open up that bank, pay some people, dish out some prospects, and get yourself an outfielder, maybe a reliever, and call it a day.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I think we'll be looking at it this time next week when we're recording. They'll have a brand new reliever who can throw upper 90s. Mm-hmm. They'll have a righty bat that can play the outfield.
Yep.
Who that is, I don't know. I think it's Canna. And relievers become available at the deadline all the time. It could be anyone, someone no one's talking about. So we'll see what happens. But I think that's it for the Phils. They got a tough stretch coming up. I might be doing a shot next week. Maybe 3. Pat might be doing a shot next week. Maybe 3.
Maybe 3. Who knows?
We will see.
So, Flyers news. Some big stuff happening there.
Yeah, big shit popping.
The Eagle has landed.
Michkov is officially here. No more speculation about him being, kidnapped by
Spetsnaz or whatever they are.
Yeah, whatever the, he
KGB.
Is, whatever the KGB is now. But yeah, he is here. He did a, press conference and all that stuff. Came to the airport wearing a Phillies hat. He's
an orange Phillies hat too.
Yeah, that's kind of sick.
With the vet patch on the side.
Yeah. So
and the hat to match.
He's got he's gotten some pandering notes from Bryce Harper, I'm sure.
Good for him, man.
Already doing that thing. But so that's cool. It's cool that he's here early and stuff. A couple months or whatever before, or I'm not sure exactly when camp starts.
2 months, yeah. It would have started in mid-September.
Season starts in October, so
camp. Their first preseason game September 23rd. So in about 2 months, yeah.
But so he's got a little time to acclimate, and it's exciting that he's here.
Yeah,
and stuff.
Yeah, I was excited to hear him. He doesn't speak much English. But John Clark interviewed him. He's like,
of course,
I'm very excited to be Flyer.
Yeah,
he's the man, dude. Yeah. He looks good.
Yeah,
he looks like he's been lifting. He looks a little brolic. He looks low-key brolic for a short guy.
Yeah, he's been doing work.
Yeah, I think the other thing that it makes sense to bring him over now, because your boy, you were soft on him last week, Kolosov, your Belarusian boy.
Oh yeah,
you were saying. I forget what you said exactly, but you said, yeah, Lehigh Valley sucks. I get it. Which, to an extent, I agree. But it's the NHL, man.
Yeah,
Who the hell cares? You're sitting on the doorstep of making millions of dollars, and you're going to go home?
Yeah. I think he'll
pussy
eventually be here. I mean, it's all just, kind of rumors and hearsay at this point.
I think there's truth to that, man. He's soft. He didn't show up to development camp either. He doesn't want to be here.
We'll see.
Yeah, he's sacrificing money and prestige. It's like I might do the same thing too, to be honest. But anyway, Michkov is not doing that. He came over early because he could have waited till right before camp to come over.
Mm-hmm.
He came over early, wants to get acclimated to the city, to the language, to the culture, to the food, to his teammates.
And if he ever misses home, just go up to the Northeast. There's a big Russian community up there.
Yeah, I guarantee he's going to be hanging out up there.
Go to the Russian club, have a little party up there.
So this was some inside info from Charlie O'Connor for PHLY. He said apparently they're flying Michkov's mom and little brother over next month. So that way he'll still have, some family here too, and they're going to live here.
Good.
They're not just hanging out here. They're going to live here with him.
Nice.
Because, his dad passed away, so, yeah.
We'll keep him happy.
His family will just come live here, which that'll be great, man.
Yeah, that's good.
No, damn, I keep spilling beer on this shirt. I'm a mess today. But I'm excited for our Russian boy, dude. Good for him.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm definitely going to be getting tickets for that opening night for sure.
Yeah, I might have to go and
pop
go
it
in on
off
those
for
with
sure.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
But nah, there was also some cool quotes. Like, Danny Briere was on the Anthony Gargano show, and he straight up said, yeah, Michkov brings that superstar flair. I don't need those notes. He brings that superstar flair and that gumption that the team doesn't really have right now, which is true. I mean, the team doesn't really have anyone with that personality.
Yeah,
like that. He has swag and this cocky, like, arrogance about him that you need.
Yeah. In like a good way.
Yeah, right. In a good way. So yeah, Danny Briere acknowledged that. They also, I remember Anthony Gargano asked him, so what'd you do? Well, what happened? So they had to go up to JFK to meet him, so they had to drive up to New York. They had to go get him.
John Clark must have been really crushed that he was...
it wasn't his airport.
It's not my airport, yeah.
They went up there to get him. 2-hour drive back. Then they said when he got back, the first thing he wanted to do was he wanted to put on his pads. He wanted to see his gear.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So
he was like asking if he could get on the ice, and they're like, oh, no, there's something going on right now.
Then he wanted to go lift. So he went to go get his lift on and work out. Then he was tired. He wanted to go home.
Hey,
that's
man,
a hockey. That's a hockey guy,
we'll take
dude.
a hockey player
That's a hockey man right there.
Right
just wants to put on his pads, wants to skate and go home. That's a hockey ass man, dude.
It'll be exciting to see.
Yeah, very excited for 39. Number 39.
Cool.
That's
unique number.
Interesting number.
Yeah.
Probably some significance to it. We'll find out someday.
I mean, that was his number that he's had for a while in the KHL and stuff, so he's basically just stuck with it. I don't know. I mean, they might have just been what was available to him.
That's true.
You know, being a rookie in the KHL, they might have just been like, you get 39.
Yeah.
But I thought the other thing that was cool was he kept saying, yeah, I want to win. I want to win Stanley Cups.
Yeah, it's like every single question was like, and because I want to go all the way, win Stanley Cup. It's like, hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's the main, dude. That's the other two to have.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want someone here to say, yeah, I want to have fun. I want to get the consolation prize. Nah, I want to win.
Yeah.
He seems like that kind of guy, man. He's ultra competitive, kind of to the point that he's just a jerk.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
And that's cool. The Flyers definitely do not have that. The Eagles got it back when they got CJ GJ this year.
Big time.
The Sixers, who did the Sixers get? Well, Caleb Martin kind of plays like that. And Kyle Lowry plays like that. He's a dog. The Flyers haven't really had a dog. When's the last dog? I guess Wayne Simmons is probably the last dog the Flyers had.
He's like the epitome of that.
Yeah. Which that was 4 years ago at this point.
Quite a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, but one thing I'm really excited for is the first game we play against the Ducks. See Michkov go against Gauthier.
Oh, that's going to be exciting.
I will definitely be at that game.
Yo, you know Michkov's going to go.
Those are the two games I have circled in the calendar as opening night and whenever that Ducks game is.
People are going to give Michkov the 4-1-1 on that, too. So he's going to go in there meaning business.
Gonna be like, I mean, I'm sure, like, the debriefing before that game is pretty much going to be like, okay, so you guys all know if any of you hit Gauthier, the crowd's going to go fucking ape shit, so...
Michkov might have some incentives in that contract. If you hit him,
if you get
there's 15,000.
You get an extra.
That's an extra game check.
$5K.
But that'll be exciting.
So the other big news is Travis Konecny finally signs his extension. 8 years, average annual salary $8.75. We all knew that they were going to extend him. And they definitely didn't get bamboozled here or anything. I think it was a fair deal. It's probably about what he was going to get if he ever hit the open market. The question is, was it the right time to do it in their timeline? Is he going to be too old by the time they're contending? This and that. So
people are underrating how good this team could be in a couple years, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of I feel like that's one of the things that they're kind of banking on is that maybe they're going to be better before they originally anticipated. Now, Michkov's over here a couple years earlier than expected. I mean, I don't think that ultimately would have mattered. I think they were always going to re-sign Konecny.
For sure.
No matter what. But
the terms of the deal might have been a little different, though.
Maybe. But, I mean, I'm just kind of like, yeah, it's fine. I'm not like,
I'm cool with it.
I mean, I'm fine with it. Yeah, I'm not mad. for sure. I'm just kind of like, this could be good, it might not be good. We'll see. I mean, he's a very good player. They locked up a very good player for the foreseeable future. He's got like a no movement clause for the first 6 years, and then like a partial no trade for the last 2.
I could probably do without that part.
Yeah,
but whatever.
I mean, he'll probably be a Flyer for life. So, and he's a guy that is a very good player and also has kind of the personality you like to have. So, I'm fine with it. I'm just not like ecstatic about it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I would be better if it was 5 or 6 years, but 8 years is the cost of doing business.
Yeah, I mean,
kind of what we've said before with the Aaron Nola contract, with the Zach Wheeler contract. It's just what you have to do sometimes in these situations. You have to pay them for more years than you would like to get them to stay at the terms that you want to pay them in the short term. So, yeah, I mean, could Konecny fall off a cliff? Potentially, especially someone who a lot of their game is based off of speed. His mid-30s could be really ugly.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, he'll be like around 36 when this deal is over.
Which, I mean, that's old for hockey. Well, that's old for most sports, but especially a forward based on whose game is predicated on speed, that's scary. But at the same time, I mean, you have to figure, aside from when he had Giroux and Couturier, which he was a young buck back then, he's never really had elite teammates.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I think he could produce a lot more with some better people around him. And he's used in all 3 phases of the game. Like, he's a very good even strength
He's become
scorer.
a great penalty killer.
He's also very good in the penalty kill. Their power play is a fucking mess, but you'd figure to get some better guys in there and figure that out, then he'll start to produce more in the power play. So, I mean, I've seen a lot of people be like, oh, well, him and Michkov play the same position, and so why would you sign this guy? But it's like, he's still getting his minutes. It's I don't think that's that big of a deal.
Plus, he can play either wing.
Yeah, he can play on the left side. I think ideally you want him on the right, but it's not. I don't think it's the end of the world if him and Michkov are on 2 separate lines. One of them's the first line.
No, then you have 2 really good forwards on 2 really good lines.
Yeah,
Who's mad about that?
Yeah.
No one. I think the other thing that makes this acceptable, my old friend inflation.
Yeah, that cap's going to go up.
That inflation's going to hit, dude.
Yeah.
And the cap's supposed to go up.
Mm-hmm.
Contract values contract numbers are going to go up. This could end up looking decent in just a few years.
Yeah. For sure.
Like, who knows, man? We're in a very inflationary time. Although, Biden, the king of inflation, he ain't coming back.
Inflation has gone down.
We're in a
It hit like a peak like after
spot.
COVID, and then it went down a little bit.
And someone's got to let me get $5 then. It's this economy. It's hard out here.
Well, it's
let
all
me get
about
$5.
corporate price gouging is the real problem, but I don't think it's really going to affect the Flyers that much. The cost of a box of cereal.
It might.
Yeah.
Good.
It might. Them Wheaties might be $6 a box. They probably will be.
And hold up, you need to get that milk too to go with it.
Yeah, and that milk's going to be $7 a gallon.
Yeah.
Brett, you're talking $25
I do my
for
grocery
breakfast.
shopping at Trader Joe's. I get the cheap stuff.
Yeah, Wegmans be pretty fairly priced too. Wegmans has a bad rap as being bougie. Wegmans ain't bougie. It can be bougie if you buy expensive things.
The problem is you walk away. There's so many options that like you go in there with a short list, but then you're like, I might as well get like this too and this too and this too, and then you're like, shit, nah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like.
See, I feel like I could potentially fall into that trap at Trader Joe's, but I always go there on my lunch break at work, so I don't have time to like fuck around. I'm just like, I gotta get this, and I'm out.
Plus, you don't have a car to take everything home.
Yeah, I gotta carry shit.
You can't carry a bunch of stuff.
Every once in a while something will catch my eye, but I'm like, am I really gonna do anything with that? Probably not.
Grocery shopping just pisses me off. I just get instantly
mad.
I
love it, dude. I love going to the store.
I get like angry. I can't do it. My brain shuts down. I can't do it.
I had so much fun in the grocery store. I have such a good time. I like going on Saturday and Sunday mornings before everyone gets there.
Oh, okay.
When it's nice and calm, you get there. They're like 8:30 on a Saturday morning.
Being in a crowded grocery store is
that's the worst.
Oh, it's just disgusting.
Now you get there at 8:30. You're out
Trader
by
Joe's is like sometimes, but
all the fucking lines in Trader Joe's.
Oh, that Trader Joe's is butt.
I usually get there.
The line starts wrapping around the store.
Oh yeah, it's never like that when I go there.
Everyone's ringing the fucking bell and pointing signs.
I go there on like a
get me out of here
Wednesday or Thursday afternoon. It's fine, but
I busy, empty. I don't know. I'm a different person in a grocery store.
I love the Saturday morning at the grocery store. I'll pop in a podcast. I'm just walking around doing my thing, picking my fruit.
I get lost every time.
Looking at the ice cream flavors, figuring out what ice cream I want. The worst though is when you go in there hungry.
Oh yeah. Oh,
on a Saturday morning,
Yeah.
I went on Saturday morning. I bought 2 muffins. I bought a whole thing of bagels that I probably didn't need. Some cream cheese.
Oh,
I got home.
they got
all
the
I
good
ate
cream
was a
cheese,
muffin
too.
all I ate was a muffin and a banana. I didn't eat all that food.
They got the veggie. They got all kinds
No,
of
their
different-
cream cheese
yeah,
is banging.
their cream cheese is really good.
Yeah, they got the. I
Right by
didn't
the
buy
cake
this.
aisle too. You got all the little cakes there, and you get a little slice of cake if you want to.
Yeah, I didn't buy any cake.
Those free samples.
A few weeks ago, I bought the pizza dough. I made myself a pizza.
They know exactly what they're doing, though. You know, you walk in, you get like the bread,
Wegmans
the cakes,
is DE.
and you get the fresh seafood there. You're like, I might as well get a full salmon then real quick or something like that. Then you got the meats. Then the little like charcuterie shit. You get the little prosciutto, the little olives. That I'll fuck with. Once I get past that area, get me out of here. I can't do it. Cannot do it.
Oh, I have a blast, dude.
I'm always getting lost. I never know where I'm at.
I have such a good time, man.
Bumping into people.
Yo, and I kill it at self-checkout. Some people know this about me. Damn, this would have been a perfect activity for last week when there wasn't much to talk about. We could have played y'all name a fruit or vegetable and asked me what the PLU code is. I'm nice.
No way.
I'm nice. Name one right now.
Does it have to be a specific fruit, or can I just say apple? Or does it have to be like Granny Smith?
Mango is 4545, I believe.
Peach.
What kind of peach?
All right, not peach. I don't know my fucking. What about Honeycrisp?
Oh, I buy Honeycrisp all the time. 38.23, baby. Let's go. Yo, I'm nice, I'm nice. But nah, we don't need to spend a whole pot on this.
That all is to say that we're cautiously optimistic about the Travis Konecny contract.
Yeah, there we go. I'll ring his Honeycrisp apples up.
Yeah, I mean he's going to be shopping at that Wegmans for 8 years at least.
Yep, he probably will buy a house in Haddonfield. Yeah. I remember I seen Danny Briere there. I rung up a bunch of people at the Wegmans in Cherry Hill.
Yeah, all the Flyers guys all live in fucking Haddonfield once they get paid.
Danny Briere, Chris Pronger, Charlie Manuel before and right after the Phillies won the World Series. Pedro Felice.
Wow.
Chooch. All of them used to shop at that Wegmans.
Yeah.
Colin Jenkins.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
It was one of the only cool things about working there. But anyway, that's enough grocery store talk.
You gonna touch on the Sixers then?
Yeah, we got some.
Yeah, what's going on with them guys?
That'd be a whole segment, but a little bit, I guess.
Embiid said some interesting things.
Yeah, people are mad at him again.
Oh, you saw the French getting all mad at him?
People are always mad at him.
Yeah, everyone's mad at him.
It's so much.
They called him fatty. They said, turn in your passport.
Dude, the worst was what Gilbert. You seen what Gilbert Arenas said?
Oh, that was disgusting.
This ignorant ass bastard.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
No, I didn't see that.
I don't even think I want to repeat it, but he said some really xenophobic, racist things about South Sudan and Africa, and how Embiid was like trying to give the game to Africa, South Sudan, because they're his African cousins. South Sudan and Cameroon is 2 different things.
Wow.
I'm like, no, Embiid would not throw a game. Embiid looked good in that game. Embiid's looked good.
He's been looking good.
Yeah, he's ramping
Generally speaking. The first couple games, he looked bad. Yeah, he couldn't jump. He couldn't run.
I feel like everyone else is not used to this thing that we go through every year where Embiid kind of looks like shit the first couple games, and then he starts getting better. It's like, okay, now he's back.
We're like, he's hitting his prime right now. He's about to be killing that shit.
Yeah,
when the Olympics
he's probably going to put up 20 and 10 against Serbia on Sunday.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. Especially against Jokic, he's going to get up for that game. Mm-hmm. But there are other people underperforming that no one's talking about. Devin Booker, I watched a couple of these games. He's looked horrible.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum has looked terrible. He's probably still hungover from winning the championship. Anthony Davis and Bam have looked good. Anthony Edwards has looked solid, but he's been a gunner, has not passed. I think I've seen him pass the ball like 3 times in like the 3 games that I've watched total. So yeah, people are giving Embiid a hard time. Really, no one's looked great except LeBron, Steph, and Anthony Davis.
Yeah. Drew's been okay, but he's not even like really doing anything too crazy either. Mm-hmm. But it'd be exciting to see. It's fun to see a team I saw an interesting stat because everyone's always like, oh, the 1980, like the 80s Dream Team.
Oh, the 92 Dream Team. The 92 Dream Team was ballers, but the competition sucked.
But you know how many NBA players were in the Olympics that weren't on the U.S. team?
Exactly. The competition was butt back then.
9. You know how many there are now?
Like
62.
I was going to say like 40. 62.
So, like, the difference of, like, yeah, sure, you had Larry Bird and Magic Johnson and MJ, like, that's great, but you had not even 10 other players that play in the NBA across all the other international teams. So you're dealing with most teams that have no NBA players or one team that has one guy. Now you got teams that Canada's fucking nice. You know what I mean?
Even South Sudan had 2 or 3 NBA players.
Right. 62. Whatever. You know what I mean? It's nuts.
Yeah, Canada has a bunch. Serbia's got several.
Yeah.
Australia has a ton. France. Yeah, France has Wemby and Gobert.
Yeah, popping off. And Batum.
Yeah, Batum. Yeah, all these teams are good. Australia's got Patty Mills, Della Vadova, Josh Giddey. Josh Giddey gets from me.
He's a little creepy ass, but yeah, it's just a different, it's not...
the teams are much better. Brazil's got some hoopers, right. Spain's got some ballers, Puerto Rico. All these teams are good now.
You could put together a great U.S. built team, and that's fine, but it's not the same as doing it before, which is everyone's like, oh, the 80s, are like, yeah, they were great, but the competition was fucking ass. This is like a true... It's going to be a tough thing to do. I mean, they almost got beat by South Sudan.
And then by Germany's another team. They got plenty of good players. Yeah. Germany almost beat them too.
Schroeder. Yeah.
I think it's Schroeder. Yeah.
Schroeder. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, it'll be tough. I think they'll look good. And they have a very good chance of winning, but it's not going to be easy.
No, it's not a cakewalk by any means.
But yeah, I don't get why people are mad at Embiid all the time, man. Yeah, it took him a little while to get in shape.
It's easy to pick on the man that's always hurt.
We're also mad because that podcast he was on where he was kind of like...
I would be the greatest player ever if I wasn't
I'm not mad at him for that.
Yeah, well,
I think it's true. I think he would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was late coming over to here because you're talking about the one with Drew Hanlon.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
I was late coming over here because I wanted to watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
I thought that was good.
I think he
I wasn't mad about anything he said.
No, I think it was true. I think if he was immune to getting hurt, I think Embiid probably could be labeled as one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Easily. It's going to be an uphill battle now until he wins a chip or whatever, but he's building his case now for it. But the shit that he did last year and the year before, I mean, he could have won 2 or 3 more MVPs had he been healthy.
Yeah,
last year
he should have won last year. Yeah,
I mean, it was unreal what he was doing. Shit, every game we would watch, it would be like, what?
Yeah,
but his health is his only crutch. So, but I think he was speaking truth, in my opinion.
I think the thing there is to be most upset about him is this New York Times interview, where he said the most controversial thing that he will probably ever say in his career. They were asking him about cheesesteaks. You want to know what he said?
Oh my god! Yeah, this shit.
What did he say?
Where is it? I heard this.
It's bad. It's a bad take.
Yeah, Trevor, you might appreciate this as someone who's impressed the sub menu before. So someone asks him, "What's the best cheesesteak in the city?" The interview asks him, "I don't eat cheesesteaks." "You don't eat cheesesteaks?" "No." "You want to know the real answer?" "The best cheesesteak is Subway cheesesteak."
He's just trolling.
Subway cheesesteak.
That's kind of hilarious.
Everybody in Philly who is dead is rolling over there in their grave. "I don't eat cheesesteaks. I tried twice. I'll have my chef make a cheesesteak." That's the most controversial thing he said all offseason, in my opinion.
I mean...
We need to bring him on the Hoagie Crawl.
I will say, in my opinion, that sometimes the best cheesesteak is a cheesesteak made at home. So if he can make his chef to make him cheesesteak,
his chef probably makes a good cheesesteak.
Yeah.
But, yeah, people are mad at him, whatever. They can be mad.
Stay mad, motherfuckers.
We'll keep the Sixers segment brief. The only other thing I got is, well, I wanted to talk Maxey and PG, but we're up against it. Reggie Jackson, what do y'all think about him?
I like it. It's a nice little depth piece. I've always kind of liked his game.
C+, B- move. It's not like a crazy thing. I mean, I will say the one thing I did like is that he did get, I think, damn near 80 games last year he played.
He played all 82 games.
Yeah. And averaged 10 points a game, so, like, I'll take
He's
that.
He's durable.
Yeah.
Isn't he a Rec Specs guy?
Yeah.
So that's cool.
That's my favorite thing about him.
Why, I love a Rec Specs guy.
He has that championship.
As a fellow, I have a pair of rec specs.
No way.
You do too. You were just saying, Pat. You used to
not
rock them too.
Not the full. They're like more like
that counts.
Style,
They're almost like goggles, almost. But
I don't have the goggles.
Well, that counts. What you were wearing.
Yeah, but I had them for when I was playing soccer. I still have them, but dude, love
so
a rec specs guy.
Brings longevity.
Fuck contacts. Fuck LASIK. Put them rec specs on. Represent.
They can jump right in the pool after the game. Call it a day.
Yeah.
But it brings longevity. Good savvy vet. Decent, points per game for playing a full season. Championship mentality in terms of winning one before. So maybe he brings a little bit of
has the same name as a Hall of Fame baseball player.
He fills the campaign role, dude, to a T.
Yeah.
Plenty of playoff experience. He'll probably be your third guard.
Yep. Can
come off the bench and give you 20 once in a while. Can run the point when Lowry's out.
Mm-hmm.
It's a veteran presence. I like it. Where he rocks the rec specs. Also, Pat Bev on his pod sometime last year said he's one of the nicest players in the NBA.
He seems super nice.
Which the team, like right now, they have Maxey, who's really nice. They have a bunch of tough guys, or not a bunch, but a couple tough guys in Kelly Oubre and not Paul George.
But Oubre's kind of a sweetheart too, to be honest.
But Oubre's got some dog in him. They have a couple dogs. Paul George is kind of apathetic all the time.
I'd imagine the guy we drafted is probably more nice than he is a dog.
Yo, he's definitely nice, but he's probably not going to play that much.
Yeah.
But, they needed a nice guy, a nice vet to hold it down. Because Kyle Lowry can be kind of an asshole.
And he's got that personality, too, So we'll take it.
Yeah. Yeah, like a Reggie Jackson. He shot
good move.
36% from 3 last year.
Not terrible.
You throw him in the corner.
What's he been like 12? I mean...
Yeah, I think like 12 years. Yeah, 13 years.
It's not terrible to have at that age.
And he's had some good years in his career. He just wants to win more rings. He came to the right place. On a minimum, him and Paul George are good friends, too.
Big time.
So it all works.
A lot of years with the Clippers and all that, so I'll take that.
Cool.
Yeah. So, I guess that's it on the Sixers. I wanted to talk Maxey and Paul George, but the short end of it is Paul George said Embiid's been one of his all-star friends for a while, which was interesting. And Maxey said that, Daryl Morey praised Maxey's patience as a reason why this offseason happened, which I talked about that a couple weeks ago, why they gave him the museum.
He's looking husky, though, I will say.
He's looking brolic,
He's looking real big, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if it's like, they always do this shit where, like, you haven't seen him play for a while, then they, like, do a close-up workup, you're like, did he get fucking massive? But he looks big.
He did say, he was like, this offseason, what I wanted to work on most was my strength. Because he's always been a liability on defense where he would get Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum and he couldn't defend them.
Yeah.
And he'll never be taller, but he can at least be stronger to hold up against them.
So. He does look pretty jacked. I'm like, damn, hell yeah.
Yeah. So he was just like wearing like a polo and looked like he was like bursting out or something. It was like, dude, you might have to go up a size there, my man.
You got to do a little wardrobe. You got enough money now, you get a wardrobe change.
Yeah, he's brolic, dude.
Get some custom measure shit. Yeah.
But no, good for him. Still big old smile. I mean, I can't sing enough praises for Maxey. It's good to hear Paul George talk about his secret love affair with Embiid, which is kind of fun to hear.
It was like really deep too. Embiid was like, we're going to be friends for a while.
You're my bestest friend.
Long time.
Yeah.
Emphasis on long. It's like, let me stop.
But it's a good place to be.
They're going to get their own glass.
Yeah. They need a big glass. They need like a Guinness glass.
You get one of those liter ones you get like the German beer.
Stein.
This big liter.
Yeah, they're gonna need a Stein for them too.
Yeah, big Stein. Maybe Das Boot.
Oh my God.
One less man, but a way bigger boot.
Yeah. Anyway.
Hey, on that note, man.
So what else we got? Oh, we got to talk about the happenings in the world.
Oh yeah.
So
things are happening.
Pat, we didn't get to talk about this. Trevor sat here and talked about it by himself for 15 minutes.
Yeah, Joe Biden.
Oh, we can't hear it.
Damn.
Didn't work.
Well, well, Trevor just tried to do the gunshots, but we can't hear him.
Yeah.
But speaking of gunshots.
Yeah.
Good timing. But yeah.
He's done.
Well, Pat and I weren't here to talk about Trump almost getting assassinated.
I know. Well, you guys decided that it wasn't important enough for you to come do the pod to talk about our.
That would have been the one thing I would have wanted to talk about.
Wasn't not important enough. I just couldn't do the one day. Just scheduling conflict. But damn, missed it by an ass hair. Although I will say, we probably lucked out that it didn't get fully completed because it would have just been. I don't even want to imagine what people would have done if he did get clipped.
Yeah.
You would have been walking out your door. It would have been like this. Yeah. All over the streets.
Oh, this is the really long one.
That one always goes on.
That's the really long one.
Yeah, that had been a day I'd have been like, I'm not going to
Civil War, baby.
But now, hold up. I got a couple beefs here.
They reference the Civil War at the RNC.
Oh, yeah. They're always...
I got a couple beefs here with you, Trevor.
Oh, okay.
You called him President Trump. He's your president now?
Whoa.
Well,
you said it several times.
All
President
all
Trump.
the curtains drop. It's all like, make it... what the fuck?
Oh, I guess I should have said former president.
Yeah, you can't... Or Mr. Trump. He's...
Whatever.
He ain't
he
my
was
president.
The president.
It's called Trump.
It's not now. And then also, you said you didn't speak for me and Pat, but that you don't endorse that no one on the pod endorses political assassination. I endorse it. I told my mom. My mom texted me that night. She's like, "Oh my God, did you hear the news?" I was like, "Yeah, I wish they would have shot his ass." That's what I told her. I endorse it in that situation.
I said they were so close.
FCC, come get us.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah. You guys can have the FBI looking through your mail.
I mean, I was making terrorist threats 2 weeks ago. I didn't have anything. They ain't coming for me.
Said,
I'm a peon.
I'll
keep talking.
He said, how far was Lee Harvey Oswald from JFK? That was the last thing he looked up before he got rocked up.
Oh, well, he was also looking at porn.
Yeah. Well, he got rocked up first to probably bust a quick nut. And then he was like, so how far was that shot that he killed JFK at?
You think he got off on assassination?
He probably got off on some like midget shit or some weird thing like that.
Yo, he looked like you said he liked Digimon.
Yeah,
that's a disrespect to Digimon, dude.
His nickname in the bullies called him School Shooter. That was his nickname in school.
Oh, for
real? He looked like a school shooter guy.
I mean, once they showed us,
they weren't far off.
Once they showed the picture, I was like,
he tried. That seems like that would have been more in his wheelhouse, and I feel like he just flew too close to the sun.
Yeah, he bit off more than he could chew, dude.
You know what though? Respect, because anybody can go to a fucking grade school and do that shit, but you're going for the top dog like that. That's.
I mean, you gotta put some respect on his name.
If he would have pulled it off,
he tried. He went for a big win.
My man had explosives in his car. What else was he planning?
I don't know, dude. I mean,
I feel like whenever someone like that does this shit, they're always like, and they had a fucking pipe bombing. Like it's not a rational thought. They're just, this is my last day on Earth. Presumably, let me just go balls to the wall in case shit pops off. And he was close. I feel bad for the random dad that got killed in the background. That sucks. But also another weird thing though. Biden went to go call the guy's wife, and not laughing at that. Obviously, it's sad, obviously. But Biden called the wife to, give his condolences to her husband being shot at that. And she refused to talk to him because she's like, my husband was a staunch Trump supporter. He'd be mad if I talked to the president.
He's dead, honey.
I'm like, what? It's just, there's no...
He's dead.
I'll leave my thing. But there's no, decorum or there's no respect in certain aspects of political parties that I just don't subscribe to.
She would have been all right.
Just to hear a thank you, no matter what party. I think that's still pretty cool to hear a call from anyway. But
and Trump never called them.
No,
but at the RNC they had
reached out.
Did you see at the RNC they honored him by having because I guess he was a
cardboard cutout.
They had a firefighter with his name on the back, but apparently it was spelled wrong or something.
The disrespect.
It was just
I hope that lady switches sides.
Nah, she's not. She can't. She won't even. She's
committed. But
people are dumb as hell.
You saw the 3D slow-mo thing where it was if he had just turned his head.
Oh, for sure. No, I watched the video. I was it was that close.
Yeah. The little bandage was a bit much for me. But...
And all these people were rocking bandages on there. Just get a grip, dude.
The RNC was a...
That's like me
That's a Fright Night scene to see.
Ugh.
Cheese hats, cowboy hats, Kid Rock.
What a bunch of cretins. Anyway. Well, we got to talk about Biden dropping out.
Yeah, he's out.
Because this time last week he only had COVID.
Yeah. I think that's a...
Now he out, dude. He out. He definitely out.
He was in... He was in Rehoboth kicking back and said, you know what?
Yeah, you could have gone and paid him a visit.
This is kind of nice.
Yeah, man. Would have dabbed up a little bit, but I think that was a really good... kudos to him. I think that probably was a difficult decision. I think that he heard people were saying. obviously understand why he wanted to stay in there, to think he was the only one that could do it. But I tell you what, though, it put the Republican Party in a fucking...
They're freaking the fuck out, dude.
Tailspin. They don't know what's going on.
It's kind of insane, too, because you would have thought that they would have had some kind of plan for this. You know what I mean?
It was clear that this was happening.
It was clear that this was at least a possibility.
All these political scientists, they're all like, oh, well, we don't know what to do now.
Dude,
like,
the best, too, is all these people who bought thousands of dollars worth of Let's Go Brandon t-shirts to sell and stuff, and now they're just, like, fucking stuck with that shit.
Yeah, they're obsolete now.
There's a flag on the way to the beach
to
Delaware. Like, you have like the Let's Go Brandon shit. You have whatever else. There's just one flag that says "fuck Biden." Like, there's no.
I've seen a few of those.
It's like a plain white flag with like black lettering. I'm like, what the fuck? But yeah, you would have thought that they never saw this coming at all. The way that they're reacting. But
yeah, it's really funny. They're kind of flailing, and now it's looking like, dude, fucking JD Vance. Is looking like it's only been like a week and a half since they announced him, and it's already looking like a huge fucking mistake. Yeah, it's like Sarah Palin all over again, you know?
Yeah.
He's in the toilet, dude.
Bad.
The rumor about him having sex at the couch or whatever, you see that shit?
Yeah, and the couch is like disgusting.
Yeah.
It's got like stains on it.
There's like, like articles that come out, it's like, fact check, JD Vance did not have sex at the couch, but it's already just...
Yo, why did Trump pick him?
I think that what people were saying was when it was looking like they were definitely going to win because Biden looked so bad or whatever, it was the idea that having JD Vance was going to help them kind of run up the score in certain states or whatever.
Is he from North Carolina?
He's
from Ohio, but he was born in North Carolina.
I thought he was
Tennessee.
From, yeah.
He's somewhere from like the mountains.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so they probably put him in there to try to win, to solidify the Ohio vote.
But he has enemies in like North Carolina and Tennessee because he denounced his family from there.
Oh yeah, I mean he wrote that book, Hillbilly Elegy.
Yeah,
that like I haven't read it because I heard it's just like fucking terrible. But it's funny because now they're trying to prop him up as like, oh yeah, he's this guy who's going to get us these, salt of the earth voters or whatever. But the whole point of that book was that he was just shitting on those people.
Yeah.
Like, and he was the book was pretty much like, yeah, there's a lot of problems in Appalachia, but it's pretty much their own fault.
Right.
It's pretty much the premise of the book, and it's like that's the guy who you're gonna.
Yeah, way to polarize millions of people, millions of important voters in swing states like North Carolina.
There's that old clip of him going around now where he's talking about how people without children
don't have a stake in America,
and just talking about the childless cat ladies and stuff. And I was like, dude, you don't want to piss off the childless cat ladies.
Oh, absolutely not.
There's a lot of
dude. That probably makes up about 15% of the population right now.
Yeah. Like,
he's smoking bad, dude.
Yeah,
dude.
he just looks embarrassing, and he also had that like rally the other day where he was, Democrats think everything is racist.
This was funny.
He's like, I had a Diet Mountain Dew, and I'm sure they would say that's racist. So he's like,
There's one guy in the background
isn't that funny, guys? It's just an absolute train wreck with that dude.
Then he's like, oh, I love it here. Great crowd. Like, one guy in the background's like, yeah, great.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just bad.
He's horrible. Like, I don't know who Kamala's going to pick for her VP. Yeah. No one could be worse than him.
Hell no.
I mean, looks like it could be our governor.
Could be Shapiro.
I heard it wasn't going to be him.
I mean, he's just one of the names that's being floated.
It could be that other...
him or... that guy from
the North Carolina
from
dude,
the small town guy, because he's like really
Tim
digging into
Walz
JD Vance a lot.
Oh, the Minnesota dude.
The Minnesota guy's pretty cool.
Minnesota's kind of got it going on politically.
The governor of Illinois is really good too.
Who's got?
I don't know his name. He's like a larger guy. He's
a Pritzker.
Yeah.
Yeah, big dude.
Son of a billion. I mean, he's a billionaire family, but I will say he's a very not what you would expect from a billionaire family.
Well, he better let me get $5.
I mean, they just need to pick someone who's not embarrassing and awful.
I think they're going to be just fine with whoever they pick.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much, at this point, I feel like as long as they don't do anything really stupid, they should be able to win. Because at this point, I kind of feel like Trump's support is kind of tapped out. I don't think he can...
dude, not all, but many of his supporters died since 2016 to now. You know what I mean? There were a bunch of boomers and people that got COVID. Like, that's a straight up thing. I looked it up.
Yeah.
Like, I forget what the number is, but I looked it up. So many of Trump's supporters passed away in the last 8 years.
And
it's
I don't think that he's going to be able to grow any of his support from now until November, but I think at least, Kamala has an opportunity to expand on the numbers that Biden was doing.
Definitely.
Yeah, as long as they don't do anything like crazy, which
if you let the RNC
tall order for the Democrats, they do a lot of stupid shit, but
let the GOP cook, so to speak, and bury themselves with just these terrible takes of really everything that they talk about. Pick a decent middle of the road person for VP. Don't say anything too crazy. You really should be all right, all things considered. I mean, Joe Biden was the biggest 50-50 shot. Like, oh man, we might actually lose this shit. We'll see what happens.
Oh, my man was dying more by the day.
Now that he dropped out, you're like, well, I mean, it was like, oh, well, Trump's younger than Biden, so he's going to win. Now you have someone that's almost half his age, and
isn't a liar and a brain dead.
And you have a convict versus a prosecutor. It's a perfect,
It's so funny that, the Republicans' whole line of attack for a while was like, Biden's old and senile, whatever, and it's like, oh, now you guys are the one with the old senile guy.
And all they can say is like, well, she's a woman. Like,
now she's the DAI candidate.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
it's like miss me with that. But the funny thing is, right? They can't even not be racist.
No,
they're sitting here saying all this nonsense. Yeah,
they had to come out and kind of release to their, I don't know, it was from the top of the RNC or whatever, where they were like, guys, can you please cool it on the racist shit? Don't do that, please. They can't help themselves.
They just can't all week before the convention, they were like, we're going to be making a big point of unity and this and that, and they were like, crazy ass Pelosi. Like, there's no, they couldn't do it.
Yeah. Well, it is funny too how, I mean, like I was saying, now Trump is the old senile guy.
Yo, he is old as hell.
He's I think he's now the
81, 82.
No, he's like 70 something.
But he's still the oldest person.
Oh, yeah, no, you're right. He's like 78.
No,
he's 78.
I think he's now officially the oldest person to ever run in a general election for president.
Well, thank God Biden was like, well, let me just
and he's always talking about Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah.
Do you guys see that shit? It's fucking crazy.
Did you see that they asked?
He's like, the great late Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah.
We'll have you for dinner, folks. And it's like a joke, and it's like, I don't understand what it is.
There's no the joke. There's no. He says it so randomly that people they clap and laugh.
And I'll see clips of it going around on Twitter and stuff, and I don't know. This could have been from yesterday. This could have been from a week ago. He says it at every fucking rally. It's so bizarre.
Somebody interviewed Anthony Hopkins. They were like, "So, how do you feel about Trump saying Hannibal Lecter all the time?" He's like, "The movie from 30 years ago." He's like, "I don't know. That's a bit
Silence of the Lambs.
That's a bit odd." No, and the guy's like, "Well, yeah, I just don't know if you thought." He's like,
"Well, I heard the thing. I feel like the theory is that because he'll say." That he'll mention they're letting everyone out of the asylum or whatever, and I think the idea is that he's sort of mixing up that because the immigration thing is that they're asylum seekers
in asylum,
and I think he's kind of mixing up the terms, the different uses of asylum.
Yeah, I don't think he understands that Hannibal Lecter was
some weird comment about the border, but he's just talking about Hannibal Lecter.
Which makes no
sense.
So
fucking weird.
Because
the thing is, in the absence of Biden just being a complete fucking mess, this shit would have been very fucking weird from the beginning. And now it's just out there. It's now he's the only guy saying the weird shit.
Which makes no sense because
now he's the weird guy.
Associating Hannibal Lecter with what he calls quote unquote they're rapists, they're murderers, they're criminals, not their best people. I don't know if he ever saw the movie, but Hannibal Lecter is a fucking genius doctor. That's not who they're... by your own definition of who you're saying that they are, Hannibal Lecter would never come across the border because he would already be hiding out in Rome somewhere eating someone's brain. not jumping across the... I don't know. It's just... It's pure entertainment. You can't miss it, though, we'll say. It is good for that.
Yeah.
What a time to be alive, man.
Yeah. This is what we get. We couldn't get JFK or something. We got Obama, but
I will always say,
what a fall from grace. We had Obama, and then wild trip.
If Bernie would have won in 2016, we probably would have never have gotten here. But
yeah, man,
the DNC fucked them then.
Well, we're here now, though.
And
that's all we can focus on.
So be it.
But yeah,
is what it is. Should have let our man win. But I think that'll just about do it for us here tonight, everybody. Please leave us a 5-star rating and review of your podcast. Give us a subscribe on YouTube. Follow on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Send us an email at citywidepod@gmail.com. And from all of us here at the Citywide, good morning, good afternoon, good night.
Rock over London.
Hannibal
Rock on
Lecter.
Chicago. Diet Mountain Dew, the official drink of the white supremacists.